Hello, my name is Christopher Bollyn. I'm the author of the Solving 9/11 set of books, The Deception That Changed the World, and Solving 9/11, the original articles. I'm also the author of a book called The War on Terror, The Plot to Rule the Middle East. In these books, I seek to identify the network behind the 9/11 crime, deception, and the subsequent war on terror, which is the longest and most expensive war in U.S. history. And in my efforts, I have found that there are two nodal points. That the culprits, or suspected culprits, are either members of or connected to the Likud Israeli military intelligence group, or they're connected to the Rothschild family, which indicates that to me that the 9/11 crime and deception and the war on terror are products of the Rothschild family and their connection to Israeli military intelligence. And the reason I'm talking about this today in front of an old olive tree is because Israel has just gone through a very peculiar election in which it was a re-election, a redoing of the previous election in which Benjamin Netanyahu had won. In this recent election, Netanyahu lost to a man named Benny Gantz from a party called the Blue and White Party, a centrist party. Yet instead of giving Benny Gantz the mandate to form a government, the Likudnik president of Israel gave it to Benjamin Netanyahu to form a government, although he had failed to do so in the previous election, and that was the reason for the elections in the first place, the re-elections. Now it's Tuesday, the 1st of October, and the media tells us that Benny Gantz, in the midst of the negotiations to form a government with Netanyahu or without Netanyahu, Benny Gantz is in London. He's been in London for the holiday, the Rosh Hashanah holiday, and he is, there's no pictures of him online in London. There's no explanation of why he's in London. So why is the winner of the Israeli election, who's been pushed aside by the Likudnik president, why is this man now in London? And who is he meeting with? In the middle of an Israeli election in which they are trying to form a government, he suddenly disappears for a week and goes to the city of London. What does this tell us? Well, it tells me one thing, that the Rothschild family is the reason he's in London, and he's there to get directions and instructions from the Zionist banking family of the Rothschilds, who will tell him what he needs to do, what he should do, in order to form a government with Netanyahu when he goes home on Wednesday, October 2nd. Now, why is this important for 9/11? Is that since 9/11, in order to maintain the cover-up and the agenda of the war on terror, it is imperative on the culprits that they maintain control of the White House and the government of Israel. They've done so in America very successfully. We've had 3 presidents since 9/11, all of which have maintained the agenda of the war on terror, have not stopped the wars. And in Israel, it is necessary to do the same thing. So I think that what will happen is when Benny Gantz goes back to Israel on Wednesday, that there will be some sort of compromise government formed with Netanyahu, which keeps the Zionist parties in control. Because what had happened just before Benny Gantz went to London was that the Arab parties, the Arab delegates in the Knesset, had given their support to Benny Gantz, which would have created an Arab centrist coalition and locking out Netanyahu. But Netanyahu, being one of the key players in the 9/11 deception and war on terror, needs to remain in power in order for that deception and that war to go on. So this is why I think Benny Gantz went to London. Thank you very much.